Jonathan. Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, any noise?
Yes, there's like music and
What's coming from outside next door? It's not. You still hear it?
yeah.
Let's see if I can find how to. That's coming from. No, it's coming from my neighbors. Plus, I hear a compressor going or something. So, how's your day going?
Oh, it's going well. I had to spend a couple hours on the well line, get the water pumping back over to the house, and let that running. And yeah.
You look like you're tired.
I have been.
Been doing manual labor, huh?
Yeah. And then when I'm here at home, there's a lot to do, so it's like, you don't want to rest too much. You want to get something done. You start resting, then you get a little rested, and then you really want to get something done.
Yeah, I understand. That's very good. You're a young man, so I don't have nobody crawling around in my house not at this time. So I don't have those problems. I know. That's right. It takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, and a lot of understanding when you have family more than just you and your wife. And I got an older daughter. She's 19, so that's another thought. But she's not crawling around.
Oh yeah, you get this many kids. It's like you get an area of the house clean, and by the time you get another area of the house clean, a tornado already came through the other area of the house and you just got clean.
There was 5 of us when I was a child. 5 of us.
At least the oldest 3, we got them Washington. So that many. It's like this, that, and the other. This one's drunk, this one's painting, this one's doing that.
Is it cold up there now, Jonathan?
Right now it is 55 outside.
Oh, that's a jacket, Reverend.
Yeah.
Right, Gary. Gary's probably 80 degrees. Can't hear you.
Mid-80s.
It might be your background, Doc.
Okay, I'll go down low. Let's see how I gotta cut it off. I'm gonna try something here.
Now you're growling.
Now go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, mid-80s, low 60s. So yeah, that's what's going on in Nevada.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You see that?
Oh yeah, you still up in the high 60s, low 70s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Teresa.
Sorry, it's evening over this way.
Afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. Where we at? A little after 3. I still can't hear him.
Jonathan, do you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm
Still
gonna
hear
have
the
to
noise?
come.
You still hear the noise?
I'm gonna have to come.
Jonathan?
Yeah, there's your background noise. It's crazy how your background noise overpowers everybody else's mic. It's interesting.
Jonathan,
We
when
hear
the kids grow up, they're slobs. They don't pick up after themselves. They're worse than college students. Let me tell you.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm building the area that I built that's supposed to be the living room. I built they're using as a bedroom right now. It's like 2 partition walls. They better have that picked up. I've been on top of them the last few days making sure it stays picked up. So oh, see, look, hey.
Mine grew up, they didn't like it because Jim was a military man, right? So Saturday was cleaning day, and we did the white glove test, so it was always organized. They didn't like it, they hated it. And if you said you didn't have anything to do, it was yard work, or you would go clean engine parts. So
Oh yeah.
They remember that one real quick. So you have to tell me, baby.
It's 4 of them. There's like one. Then you can make some beds, but 1 bed, 2 bed, the bunk bed, and 3rd bed.
See?
But this whole side of the house is supposed to be the living room. It's 14 by 24, and I have 2 doorways. Well, one right there, framed in. And I'm building right now outside. I've got the piers dug. I have to pour them. But another 12 by 20 addition that goes off of this high side, because these are high ceilings, but 11 feet. And there'll be 2 12 by 12 bedrooms on that side, and so the girls and then my son. And then this will open all up into the living room, and then hopefully things like their dressers and all that stuff goes into their rooms, and you know.
Hey.
Yeah.
Work in progress.
Man.
It was 7. I had 7 plus us. So it was organized chaos, believe me, but it was always, hey, that way. Anyway, you have a routine. Okay.
Donna, did you start from scratch, or did you have a foundation already and you're building up and fixing it up?
So I started from scratch.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, completely. Like, yeah, the whole house. That's the side I was just in. But I started with this, and the first thing I had built was that.
Wow.
That's the 12 by 12, and then that's what I started building when we first got the place, and then
When was that?
When
did you get the place?
When we first got the place was 2016.
Okay.
And I started building this, only got the 4 walls up. Winter came, we had kids, couldn't do anything. We moved back out, and what was it, 2020, beginning of 2020, or yeah, end of 2019, beginning of 2020, we started moving stuff back out here. I finished this, added an 8 by 12 addition on it, little room, and then we lived in this with our first 3 all winter, and then I built the 12 by 20. Well, it's a 12 by 24, and we had the kids in the small room,
and then me and my wife are using this like a little studio, partition wall inside for like a pantry bathroom thing. And then not last year, but the year before, I built the 14 by 24, and they're all connected by hallways.
Nice.
They all have a hallway that connects them, and 14 by 24. So this one, the addition is going to come off the high side, and the back wall here will be like 7 feet, and then it'll go up to like 10. But run the piers, run the deck, walls, and then the roof, and it becomes like one big thing. And then it'll be 2 12 by 12 bedrooms right here. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
It's really not. If I had all the funds, no, really, if I had all the funds to get the material to do it, I could do this entire thing in a month.
Are you doing all that by yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that's by myself. If I had like 2 guys with me, like this would get done in like a week. Like
right.
the framing and all that would get done in like a week. And then you'd have like a few days of electrical and all that. But no, I could pump out a 2,400 square foot house in like a month and a half, 2 months. It's just the like when people have to go through permits and all that, that's what hangs everything up. And you gotta have an inspector come out and all that stuff and all that scheduling, that hangs it all up. Yeah, these crews can pump out houses in like a week, but you know you gotta wait on inspectors and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. It's all about having the funds to get it done.
Mm.
And then I laugh because I do a remodel for somebody, and like a bathroom will take like 2 months. Because you have to make the old new and like redo a whole bunch of stuff, and new build it's going right in. Yep. Especially when you have the tools for the job. That makes everything. Like this first thing, this 12 by 12, I built it with hammer and nails. And then the addition I had a nail gun finally, and so the framing was done in like a day. And then the roofs, this roof, that roof, and the kitchen roof, that was all done with hammer and nails. All the shingles, I didn't have a gun for the shingles. And so that's like, I don't know, 50, 60 packs of hammer and nails on the shingles. But then by the time I did that addition, I had a roofing nailer. And so that just
Right, go faster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. And you're not blowing your thumb out here and there.
And that's an amazing practice you got there.
Them little nails, and you got a big hand, and you smacking them roofing little inch and a quarter, inch and a half nails.
Oh yeah. Wonder if you can break the thumb. Well, I got a compressor and 2 nail guns. I don't even use them. I have effectively been put out of work. I'm the Maytag man in my house now. I just work in the garden.
Well, I'm happy right now. So far, the trees. I finally found a raspberry bush, the variety that has done very well so far. Yeah, the 3 apple trees, and now 3 plums, and they're all taken. And so the plums, I just gotta hope they come through after winter. This will be their first winter, and you know that's that first one, Gary. You know how it is.
And our lime tree took 4 years to get one lime on it, and then this year, the tree's full of limes. I mean, they tell you it takes sometimes 2 to 3 years for a fruit tree to bear fruit. But I was thinking, well, maybe it's the organic compounds or lack thereof of magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, which causes blooming of fruit trees, calcium, which strengthens the roots. So all that stuff counts for a tree to really take off. If it doesn't have that, then fruiting's going to be difficult. So that's something I had to work on in the spring. But our pears are out. Our fig trees went off lime, but they gave us plenty of figs. So we got a lot of limes to drink lime water.
There you go.
So a lot of our fruit trees. Now I'm growing corn. We're growing corn. It looks like we're getting corn. So first time.
There you go.
In our gardening. So and we got chickens now. Thanks.
No, exactly. You grow that corn. You'll save a lot on feed for the chickens.
Yeah. Well, this corn is going to my stomach. Yeah. So we're getting our share of fruits and vegetables. I'd like to grow a few more, but my wife and I got this serious addiction we're fighting. Going to the nursery. That's our addiction. We can't pass the nursery without going there and getting stuff.
Hey, I understand. I understand it real well.
Yeah, but this weather, the climate change that the naysayers don't exist, affects your vegetables. What I learned when I was in college is that the optimal growth in plants is 86 degrees. So you go above that, plants start to struggle. And when you reach temperatures here in Las Vegas up to 122 degrees, nothing grows. Everything stops, and all it brings on is weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So them greenhouses coming in, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, we'll be erecting that in the next week or so, putting our high tunnel back up. But since the weather's dropped, everything's growing now. So it's definitely temperature related.
Oh yeah, very much so.
But to eat out of your garden is awesome. I mean, the energy you get from things coming out from the soil, and instead of going to the store, unless you just have to go, is a monumental game changer when you taste the pungent flavor of what you grow from the soil versus to that you get in the grocery store that's been shipped and has been chemicalized. So, yeah, it's worth growing. If you have to grow in 5-gallon buckets, if you have to grow in a tub, a drawer, grow your own food as much as possible. May not be able to grow everything, but it's just to give you the incentive and inspiration to say, if I can do this and my food tastes this good, my fruit tastes this pungent, you can smell it like back in the old days. I'm 71, so I remember back in the days walking down the neighborhood, be able to smell grape trees and apple trees and all the fruit. You can just hit you in your lungs, smell that natural goodness. You can't smell that no more. When you go to the store and get a banana, you used to be able to smell bananas. You can't even smell a banana. You can't smell apples. You can't smell grapes because they have no seeds in them. So you're lucky to be able to get a grapevine that is seed grapevine. So, and watermelons, everything has been changed. So yeah, if you can grow your own, and I don't say that boasting, I say that with a lot of blessing, fear, and appreciation. You need to grow your food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you must. I would say it's a must. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's a must to be able to save some money. Outwardly, you're gonna spend some because you gotta get the seeds. But say like if you buy kale and a kale plant, and you let that kale go all the way to seed, you're still getting the leaf off of stir frying, whatever you want to do. But when that plant goes to seed, you get millions of seeds back. Whereby going to a store and getting seeds, you get 5 or 10 seeds in a pack, and now them may bloom. So yeah, it's worth it. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it.
That's right.
So anybody got a scripture today? Retar?
I don't know. Anybody have any suggestions?
Yeah,
On Jeremiah.
Second Galatians.
Hmm.
Give me 1 second. Galatians 2.
Who is everybody dwelling on?
Matthew 24.
Matthew, which one?
Matthew 24.
What we got here? Mark, Matthew. Hmm. So 25th. Oh,
Matthew 24. Yeah, excuse my voice. I got a problem with my voice box. So.
okay. And Joshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him that buildings of the temple. And Joshua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Joshua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahweh, or Yahshua the Messiah, or Elohim, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall be waxed cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whosoever readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck into those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Yahshua the Messiah, or believe, or there, believe it not. For where there shall arise false Elohims and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will be eagles, and there. Okay, let me say for 28. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will be the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign, the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a sound of a trump, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and pulleth forth leaves, ye shall know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass, till all things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the floods, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man. Then shall two be in the field, and the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour Yahweh doth cometh. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord, whom Yahweh hath made ruler over his household, to give him meat in due season? Blessed is the servant whom Elohim, Yahweh Elohim, when he cometh shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if the evil servant shall say in his heart, Yahweh delayeth his coming, and he shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. Yahweh Elohim of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrisy. There shall be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. That was Matthew 24.
Hallelujah.
And I just want to, that's it. Interesting.
Hallelujah. That was a lot, huh?
Hallelujah.
That was a lot, huh?
Yep, that was. Yeah. 51 verses.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. That's interesting, though, isn't it?
That's what I meant when I said that's a lot, huh?
That seemed to be what's daily happening, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. You'll see the abomination and desolation of spoken by Daniel the prophet. Stand in the holy place. Whosoever readeth, let him understand. That's the 15th verse.
Feel like reading another one?
Huh?
Feel like reading another one?
You can.
No, say, do you feel like reading another? I don't have much of a voice.
No.
2 Timothy,
Which
3rd
one?
chapter. 2 Timothy, 3rd chapter.
Oh, I got it. Okay, 3rd chapter. Okay, that's First Tim.
Yeah, 2 Timothy, 3rd chapter.
I got it.
Okay.
2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Okay. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of Yahweh, having a form of holiness, but denying the power thereof, for such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of truth. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of correct minds reprobate concerning the faith, but they shall proceed no further. For their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which come unto me at Antioch and Iconium and Lystra, what persecutions I endure, but out of them all of Yahweh delivered me, yea, and all that we live holy in Yahshua the Messiah shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And that from a child that has known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Yahshua the Messiah. All Scriptures is given by inspiration of Yahweh, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instructions in righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Okay? Well, that gives us a lot of meat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. Okay. All right. Floor's open. After all of that, I'll say Shelley had to go down and see her mom, so I haven't heard from her today. Because her mom had to have surgery again. So anyway, we're back to that. I don't know if we're going to have anybody other than us, maybe later on. Bernard, are you ready?
I'm ready. I just turned my mic off.
That's okay.
Makes so much noise. No, I'm ready. It reminds me of the, I try to, like I said, I try to listen to Glenn or the founder, but I have to find a moment when I'm not bombarded about other stuff. Not bombarded, but I mean, I could pay attention, because things come very fast and it pass right by you if you don't pay attention, And I'm trying to make sure that I put on the breastplate of armor the way that Glenn is laying it out, that you have to, if Yahweh is causing you to understand, then you're where you're supposed to be. That's what he said. He said, but the thing is that, we're not supposed to be fooled by anything, nor worry about anything of the world or that's in the world. That we're supposed to be already in heaven. And that's where we're supposed to be, already in heaven, at peace, and not worried about other things that's going around you. But he also said that even when the Messiah was around, they had 16 people that were prophesying that they were the Messiah. But when they look at the scriptures, or that the things that Yahweh had explained to others, like the sign, look for a sign in the heavens for the Messiah to come, he was preaching the wrong day or a wrong thing, and they knew that it wasn't them. But he said, in these days you hear a lot of things, and like even now you can see that the people are bombarding the founder with a lot of garbage about, some of it was so slick that, I had to catch myself thinking while I was thinking about what they were saying. Such as that this man came before the founder, that he had claimed that he had a vision and revelation, and that he understood the gospel of the kingdom and all that other stuff. But when they nailed it all the way down, he was not the one. And when they look at the founder, the people that gather around him, like Theo's associates or friends that they claim that they're in charge, you can find all the weakness in them, because they can't even hold their body together. They can't give them anything that they need to stay together. But anyway, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm obedient, and that I do the will of the Father. And it's strange that he chose me to participate in these latter days in the gospel of the kingdom. It's just I'm not befuddled by it. I'm happy about it. But I'm just, he kept this curtain open long enough for me to hear.
Hallelujah.
And that's I give all praise and glory unto him. I mean, like Glenn said, he says some people will say they don't come to school and they don't care, and if I have to go to late, so be it. But the thing is that he can take your house away from you, take your kids away from you, take the food away from you, and you think that you can handle that under normal circumstances? You cannot handle it. So how could you make the statement that if you to go to hell, then so be it? I mean, he showed you natural things you can't handle. How you gonna handle something greater?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And everybody got a story they want to tell you. You have to listen, and you have to, and it bothered me about how I dealt with Kim. I mean, it bothered me to the point that I should have had more patience just to shut up and shut him out of my mind. But I told him that the founder said that he see dead people all the time, and you are a dead person.
Yeah.
You're fighting against the truth, and you got a mind, and that mind cannot hear cannot hear the calling of Yahweh, hey, you got a problem. And we all, fall short of when we came in and how we came in and all that other stuff, But just so be it that he found favor enough to give me peace and not at war. And not worried about who come and who don't come. Now, I mean, I don't mean about our body. I meant who's coming in and who's not. Because we don't know, because he had them appointed. Otherwise, it'd be over with. So we have to keep our eyes open. And not that we have any power over the decisions that are going to be made by him, but at least we know when we hear the voice, we can hear that there's another one that's coming unto the truth. Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about and going through and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm on the rooftop and got my shoes on and I got my pillow up here, so I don't have to go down for nothing.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he said.
Right.
Say what Hillary said? No, what he said.
That's true.
It's so easy to place yourself in that comfort, the comfort of Yahweh. It's so easy. It's not difficult. Just behave, be obedient, and try to listen to the thing. He said, when this gospel is real with you, others will see it. They will see it and they will understand. And those that Yahweh have desired to come and listen, they will listen. That reminds me, Jonathan, I had a talk with Shelley about Joseph Smeltzer. But Rita could turn the key. Rita, I haven't talked to Rita about it, but Rita can turn the key. So I'm going to bring the two of them together, and I'm going to have Rita do the conference call to him. He'll answer the phone. He might not answer if I call him. But then I'll ask him. But the three of us, I got two witnesses. He will give up the ghost with two other witnesses by that he finds little favor in, I guess. I'm not saying he don't find them in me, but I'm not trusting the past.
Right.
So that's what we will do.
Yeah, that's all right.
Unbelievable.
Done.
Yeah.
The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It's a simple thing. I mean, it's so simple. You wonder how come it took you so long to get here, right?
Yeah.
For you to get it. I mean, it's just that simple. It's not you don't have nothing. He said if you believe that Yahweh is in you, and you believe that the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is one, you're free. You're completely free. There's nothing else for you to grasp onto. I mean, all of it is repetitious. Now, it might go into some details, but it's still repetitious. Like the stuff you was reading there, you was telling you, get up on the rooftop and don't come down for nothing. And that means that stand in the holy place. And remember, by standing in the holy place, that curtain have been torn out, so you looking directly into the kingdom. You don't have nothing to wrestle.
That is something a lot of people don't understand. Is if you are standing in the veil has been rent. That means by standing in the holy place, you are standing.
Yeah.
Right. You are in the kingdom. And what makes us see? They taught us that we are now in the present kingdom age. What does that mean? Everything has come to an end. There's nothing else for you to come to. You are standing in heaven. All he's going to do is have you, if you're obedient, walk directly out of this into eternity. And there's nothing else you can ask for. What else you going to ask for? There's no end coming. It's already happened. It already happened.
True.
Yeah.
It's like being in the kingdom, huh?
Exactly. Hey, if you're a king, you stand in the kingdom. Right. That's who you are.
Did the founder ever talk about the Ethiopian Bible or other books that were not in the Bible?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
I was asking, did the founder ever talk about the Ethiopian Bible, the original Bible, and also or other books in the Bible that haven't been added? I know in Revelation, I think Joshua referred to other books that have been written or something.
Yeah, he said there's a couple tapes where he goes over all the books that are attributed to the various patriarchs before Moses. Those are all frauds. No, Yahweh didn't have anybody tell Moses write anything.
You dropping in and out.
I think it's your mic, Doc. If you
Okay, go ahead off.
Yeah, there's a tape where he goes over that all the books that are written by the patriarchs before Moses are false, because Yahweh didn't have anybody write anything and tell Moses. Then there's a tape where he's talking about the book of Yasher, and he said he had them someone gave it to him, he started reading into it, and he said to himself, this is my writing, which, that means. And he said it was one of the greatest commentaries written. Then the book of the Maccabees and the Jubilees, those are more recordings of the various feast days. The feast days and the recordings of the ordinances of the days of service. But yeah, that kind of just right there, that takes away about every book right there, extracurricular, except for what you would call like New Testament extracurricular, and most of those can be done away with. Like, they didn't even appear till like 500 years after, and that's not even because they didn't find a copy till 500 years after. It's because the language even used within it isn't found till like 500 years after, and things like that. But there are books that aren't in the 66 canon that the King James did, that were there. But as you know, there's like, it was never a Bible. It was a collection of scrolls. This man at this time had a vision and revelation, and this man at that time, and this man at that time. Moses to be the first to record, and then those who Yahweh Elohim appeared to after that recorded. And so, yeah. And you even have when you understand the vision and revelation, you can find where all through history, Yahweh appearing to, after the Messiah mainly, but Yahweh appearing to men in various places around the world. And you can find that by what they're speaking, like what's being said. And there's only one, Yahweh's the only one that says certain things. Like, there are certain things that the devil don't touch. Like a twisted version of it is so weak that there's no point in trying to twist it. Kind of, almost right. Kind of thing. I mean, it does. It is out there, but there are certain things like you'll always have you're one with everything. Once you start seeing the person attributing it to a specific entity that might be telling them that, then they're talking to a demon. Now, if it's just a general trying to express your connectivity with everything, that's Yahweh speaking through that person. It's once it gets attributed to a certain factor, that's where you can find where that message, that understanding, is a twist by the adversary, because that's in the Tao, or in the Tao. In Taoism, that's the Tao. In Hinduism, I forget, the prana, I think it is. But there's a force behind all of it. It's once it starts being attributed to something specific. Like the man Clarence Larkins. Dr. Kinley said Yahweh gave that man a vision. That's why he understood that's why he was saying what he was saying. But the man took it and started trying to profit off of it. So what's he doing? He's attributing a knowledge that came by way of vision to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this is what I figured out. He wasn't given the credit. You can't give the credit and try to make a dime off it at the same time.
Right.
You know. But yeah.
My other question is about the transfiguration. Talk a little bit about that. Yeah, Moses and I think it was John. When the disciples told him, yeah.
And Moses and Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah. I know there's a picture on the chart somewhere about I don't know if it's a 40-plate chart or.
Yeah, I'll share my screen and bring it up.
Okay.
Where's the share? No. Right here?
Yeah, transfiguration. Yeah, okay. Okay, can you talk about that a little bit?
Doc, you might need to mute your line. It's coming in heavy.
Is it?
Can you hear?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this is fulfilling this right here. Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and the 70 elders of Israel.
Okay.
Top Mount Sinai, seeing the Elohim of Israel.
Okay.
And they afterwards they said they started trying to build a tabernacle for each one of them. Because they were witnessing this moment right here,
okay,
where Yahweh Elohim told Moses to make me a tabernacle so that I may dwell amongst them.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that is why Moses and John the Baptist. Oh yeah, okay.
Right.
Moses is told to build a tabernacle, and they're witnessing that same. This is like a moment free from time, because this same moment where Moses is seeing Elohim, this moment where Peter, James, and John are seeing Elohim speaking to Moses, is the exact same moment in time, like out of time in I'd say in reality. That this moment is occurring right here, where Yahweh is telling Moses to make me a tabernacle so that I may dwell amongst them. Like, it's a moment, it's part of reality free from time. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's where you can see, like, when the founder was on the mount and he heard, like, he was in that realm and he heard, make me a tabernacle so I may dwell amongst them.
Right.
He was in that same moment that Moses heard it. Like, you get what I'm saying? And he didn't have the time to get there. It's an eternal moment.
Right. In the day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is where it's funny how it looks like it really does look like a sheep sitting there.
So in that same thing now, is that different from where John is having a vision and Moses is having a vision, but Moses was seeing it going forward and John was fitting it backwards, and that's when Yahweh told them to seal up, I think to not to mention something to seal that up.
Well, no, because that's John the Baptist. John the Revelator is standing there with Peter, James, and John, one of the three.
Okay.
John was the one who wrote Revelation. John the Baptist is the one who had his head cut off.
But on top of the chart, when you go,
This one, yes.
Right.
Yes, that site, yes, because Moses, when Moses' third trip up the mount, Yahweh puts his hand over he puts him in the neck of the rock, and Yahweh puts his hand over his face, and Yahweh Elohim walks past him, and it says that Moses saw the hinder parts of Elohim, and that's where you have like Genesis, the second chapter to the end of the book. Like Genesis chapter 2:4 to the end of the book. That is Moses seeing like the physical laydown, you could say, of what occurred. Like he's seeing, Adam and Eve, and he's seeing Cain and Abel, and Cain slaying his brother. He's seeing all that. Now John in the Revelation, it says he saw him coming toward him. So he saw the face of Elohim, and he saw Elohim walking toward him. So he's receiving the spiritual understanding of what Yahweh Elohim showed Moses, that which he did in the flesh. Like John is seeing the spiritual understanding. Like that's why it says the woman was clothed in the sun. The woman over here clothed in the sun. The sun and moon, the 12 stars beneath her feet, and she travailed with pain, and the dragon awaited to consume the child. That's talking about the devil possessing Cain right from the get-go. That's why the founder in the textbook, he does a complete contra. He does a go back and forth with Genesis and John. Like you'll see Sarah in this, and Isaac in this. He's going through all of Genesis and showing it in Revelation, because then that's what he says. One of the big things that people in the world think that Revelation is a companion book to Daniel, but no, Revelation is a companion book to Genesis. It's like if you don't understand Revelation, it's because you don't understand Genesis, because it's the same. See Moses over here looking that way, John looking that way.
Okay. So Moses sees all the way down to when Yahshua was put on the cross. Is that right? Jonathan?
I don't know. That I have to say. From what I understand, everybody that Yahweh gave a vision to, they saw up into their point in time. Like the prophets, like they understood, it was always prophesied that the Messiah, that Yahweh was going to come in the flesh. I don't know if Moses was shown that. I know, well, and I don't know, because I know Moses had to put the serpent on the staff, and the children of Israel had to look towards it. But from what I understand, all of the prophets, Moses and all the prophets were shown up unto their life. Like all the way up into their life, the completion of their life. The founder received the greatest panoramic vision revelation, which was everything all the way up into him and after, from what I understand. I mean, if anybody could correct that or add to that to straighten that for me, but I do not know if Moses was shown the Messiah on the cross. Now, we can show that he knew that when Yahweh came, that he was going to sacrifice himself or be the atonement for Israel and whatnot. We know that, but I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From what I heard,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. One of the things that Glenn said on his tape, I remember him saying, he said that Moses, if Moses was not able to tell you everything that Yahweh showed him, and he said because you couldn't be contained in a book. He said it was so much information, but what it was is that if you remember when Moses and his minister went up on the mount, and they went up, Dr. Kinley had saw like if he, I'm saying this so you get a picture, not exactly how it go, but like Yahweh himself speaking, because there was nobody else up there to speak to Moses when Moses came into the mount. But remember, Moses' minister came into the mount also, which meant that Yahweh had abide in both Moses and the minister at the same time, just like he's abiding in you today.
Right.
He's abiding in me, and he's abiding in everybody we're talking to today. But when he took the covers off, they saw everything that needed to be seen, or that could be seen.
So John sees back until Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where
Well, remember, John, if he didn't see that, he couldn't be complete, is what he did.
Yeah,
And
John saw that. John, and there's a part where John said, "And the seven thunders uttered their voices,
Right.
and I began to write,
Right.
and the angels
Right.
I've heard." And why would the angels say that if they told them to check it right everything? That was 7 days. It's you, Doc.
It's me. Okay.
That's weird. He should be able to still hear.
Voices, and he began to write. He was told to seal up those things, and the reason is because they were already written. Those are the 7 days, the 7 days of vision.
Right. So Yahweh tells John to seal up the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
As he shows him the vision.
Yeah, because they were already written. There was no need for him to record them because they were already written.
Okay. I don't know technologically, I'm jumping off subject, why we can hear everybody else and can't hear Renard. This got to be an equipment problem, because we should be able to hear him.
It's his microphone. It's picking up. It's got a static or something, and that sound for some reason is canceling out everybody else coming in. It's weird.
Yeah. So the other thing I'll talk about is Eve. I know Yahweh called their name Adam, but Eve was Yahweh. So listening to, I hate to say that serpent, because it wasn't a serpent. She was having a vision. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, she's having a vision. So she was always Yahweh. She already knew the purpose, because they had to come out that garden, because Yahweh said, "Be fruitful, multiply." They weren't in the state spiritually in Eden where that could happen. So he planned the whole thing. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
So,
it's like man, it's funny. Adrian Trotter was just going over all this today in class, and he did a good job going over it. This part where it says, if you eat of it, you will die in that day. One point to draw out there is when Yahweh says it, he says, "For in the day you eat of it, ye shall surely die." That isn't a conditionality statement. That is a decree of what is going to occur. For in the day you eat of it. He's telling him he's going to eat of it. It's not a conditionality statement. He's saying,
for in the day you eat of it, you will surely die. Like, and that's not Yahweh talking to Adam. That's Yahweh in a coat of flesh, decreeing within himself what he's about to carry out. That's what's going on. It's not a third party voice. It's
Right.
It's Yahweh walking around in coat of flesh. Like when you're looking at something, you're like, I'm going to make myself a sandwich, and it's gonna be with roast beef, and the roast beef, I'm gonna get that out the fridge. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's what's happening. And the roast beef comes forward, you know, and that roast beef sandwich, and you're sitting back enjoying that roast beef sandwich. You know, it's like you're saying, you know, that's poisonous. It's not that good for me. And if I partake in it, I'm going to die. But I'm going to eat of it. And that's what's going to happen. Like, it's just Yahweh decreeing it within himself.
Right.
Moses is witnessing this and putting it in words for a man who hasn't seen it to comprehend it. Like, how do you comprehend that the creator of heaven and earth created a creation, got in a body, is the one walking in it, and he made a tree that shouldn't be touched, and like, how do you communicate that?
Right.
And that's what Moses is doing. Yeah, Moses is communicating that. What we get to see what you are Yahweh. So you understanding that you're Yahweh, that mystery that was hid even from Moses. Right. And see, that's why I say I don't know about with Moses, is because, as it says, the mystery which was hid through the generation, or through the ages, and from the generations, which means all the way from after Adam and Eve, all the way to those up to the Messiah. Those are all the generations, the 63 righteous generations. Right. Moses is a part of that generation, and the mystery that was hid was Yahshua or Yahweh in him. Like he was able to identify Yahweh in Oshia to rename him Yahshua, because he's identified that was Yahweh in him. Right. That was Yahweh in a coat of flesh, walking with him, speaking to him mouth to mouth as a friend does with a friend. He recognized that, and that's why he changed his name. But to know what he did on the cross and understand it would be to know that mystery. Like like everything that he did as Emmanuel was to reveal that. But Yahweh could have showed it to him and sealed it up in him. You know what I mean? Just like Dr. Vine said, like, there's plenty of stuff that Yahweh shows you, and it's sealed up within you. You ain't got no recall on it. And then one day, somebody gets to talking with you, and you get on some subject, and you're like, oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Yahweh showed that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what about that? And you're like, I had all that information about that, and there was no recall. And you could go by 5-6 years and no recall of that information, and then Yahweh just boom, there it is. Right. Which, you know, so it's like, up into him thing. I remember hearing Glenn say that. I heard Glenn say that everybody before the founder, when Yahweh gave them the vision, it was from the creation, from everything, from the beginning, up into them. And then, like, the next person had, like, that person's perspective, and then their life. So it's like Moses is the first one. He sees all the patriarchs before him, the perspective of Yahweh in them, all the way up into him. And then, like, so, like, when he's revealing to Isaiah and Jeremiah and stuff, they're seeing all the way from there up into then their life. And then that which Yahweh says and they decree. But then, like, when Paul received the vision revelation, he saw all the way from the beginning up into him. Because one thing, Paul and the apostles and them, they didn't know about TV, they didn't know about radio. Like, you know more about everything than the apostles did in that regards. Not in regards to the purpose of Yahweh. Like, I remember Glenn going into this, not in regards to the purpose of Yahweh, but in regards to, like, TV,
the elements, the ultramicroscopic particles, that information was released later. Like, that's why Moses says the dust of the earth. If Moses had the terminology of today, Moses would have said the elements. You know, he would have said like that. But there was nothing for that then at that time to use. You know, but the dust, that's the finest particulates a man could comprehend. Yeah, like even the cloud. Like, today, people have a comprehension of what that cloud is beyond people having a comprehension of it just being like a cloud in the sky.
Right.
Like, you know, like, Yahweh has opened up man as a whole, you know, to comprehend that which he has been showing all along. He don't change.
I know that in the classes what they say, I've been in for 25 years in these classes, and they say that since he was in the cloud for 40 days and 40 nights, the 7 days he got the vision of the creation, and then the other 33 days was Yahshua's life.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that stay on the floor several of times, so I see where Gary's getting that from.
Well, the other 33 days was Genesis chapter 2 onwards, which is Yahshua's life. Like the recording of the 63 generations of all the patriarchs, that is Yahweh walking through the creation. And like you can show that in like the genealogy in Genesis 5 going into or Genesis 4? Yeah, 4 going into 6. It wasn't till Seth was born did men begin to call upon the name of Yahweh, which we know that's Elohim. I think that's 4:24. And so you have Cain taking his sister, starting a bunch of nations and religions, belief systems, and they weren't worshiping Yahweh Elohim. Not until Seth was born did men begin to worship Elohim. And then if you notice, you have a genealogy recorded from Seth to Noah. And if you look at that line of genealogy and you look at the birth of the Messiah, that is the genealogy of the righteous Adam, Seth, Enoch, or Lamech, Enoch, Methuselah, Noah. But going through all of them, and then you get after the flood, you get Japheth, right? It's Japheth going into Abraham, like it follows it to Abraham, and then going through. But you have the 63 righteous generation. And that's the Messiah, or that's Yahweh walking through the creation, because there's only one righteous, right? There's no not there all the whole heaven and earth were searched, and there wasn't found one righteous, no, not one, except Yahshua the Messiah. So you have the life of Yahshua the Messiah, all the way from Adam being recorded in Genesis 2 onwards, and yeah, like the first coming.
So
I'd like to explain this to you, if and then I'll cut off again. Is that this would in the lectures that I've been listening to Glenn speak, and I want to say this first. When the founder received his,
Cut out, Doc.
I cut you off.
No, you cut out.
I did.
Yeah, when you said the founder received his, and then you cut out.
Yeah, when the founder received his vision, he got everything that Yahweh was capable of. And the way Glenn described it to us,
You keep cutting out, and then you just muted yourself, I think.
before he comes back on. So Eve really was not deceived. You know, after all.
Yeah, no. Yeah, when you understand that was Yahweh in a feminine expression carrying out the purpose, no, Eve was not deceived.
So that those are errors
to the
in the Bible.
purpose.
So those are errors in the Bible when it says that then.
Yeah, I mean, according to the purpose, it can be said the woman was deceived. Yeah, it's like that can be said. Like when you go to surgery, I can say you were cut open.
One of the things I want to tell you is this: is that the founder said that all of his children had visions, and he said they had visions to testify of him. Now remember, they all did not. Let me put it this way: they all seem as though they was not capable of delivering what Glenn delivered to us, but they had the understanding that sufficient for them to be who they were. They were testifying that the founder was Yahweh in the body, and they understand that their father had a vision. But but keep in mind how this goes. The patriarchs before us, like John the Baptist, most people, until Glenn started revealing it to us in the founder, we didn't give John the Baptist all of his credit. John the Baptist knew everything that the founder knew everything that Yahweh had to give, and he knew that not when he became a man. He knew that from birth. So did Yahshua the Messiah. He received everything that Yahweh had to give to him, but he had a job to do. Same with John the Baptist had a job to do. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I got you.
and the founder had a job to do, but Glenn started talking to us in the manner that the founder did, almost at the very beginning.
Right.
The founder knew that his time was coming. When I started class, it was in the 70s. And the founder, I think, died in 76, and I think I came to class in 78. But anyway, everybody started recognizing, already knew that Glenn was capable of teaching them the things of Yahweh ever since he came to town. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I think that all of us will come to that same situation sometime in the future. Maybe not in this body, but in the next, when we step across into heaven. That's when we'll understand everything that you understood. But there was nothing held back. That's why when I keep saying that when Moses went up on the mount, and the founder was there before him, because the founder witnessed him coming up on the mount. Once Yahweh exposed himself to you and started teaching, you have taken on him. There's nothing else for you to take on. And you know everything that there is to know. When the father went on his trip to Jerusalem, he used to tell them, well, I played over there as a child. I did this over there. And well, how did he do that? He only had one body that we saw, and it was, 33 years? So for him to understand that the same thing happened to him, the whole body of Yahweh abided in him.
Right.
And there's no difference. That's what the difficult part of us coming to an understanding about this gospel. And he didn't give Moses was the only person that he spoke to face. But the founder wound up receiving a panoramic vision of everything that was going on that Yahweh had for him to receive, which was him himself.
Right.
And that's the same thing that's available to us, to take the veils off of it, uncover it, and that could happen to you also.
Right.
But it is happening to us, like John was going to say. We got all of the things that they had before, plus everything that's in today.
Right.
So, and they wasn't stupid about today. Now you understand, because if they knew everything, the founder Yahweh told him, says, "Answer me." And he said, if he wouldn't have answered him what he was going to do with the vision that he was giving him, he would never have come out of that state that he was in.
Right.
So in order for him to receive that, he received everything that the founder had to give. Yahweh had to give, which was himself. And that's who gave to us. But just so happened that we are still in that state where we don't have the totality that they had, but we're putting all the pieces together to understand what that totality was about, because it never changes.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Sorry about my equipment. I went and bought all new equipment and doing the same thing. So I don't know what's wrong. I'll figure it out.
Mic sensitivity.
Yeah, I think my speakers have a Bluetooth, and it may be sound. I can put it. Huh?
Now, on the chart, we're talking about, my understanding, talking about cosmogony. I think depicted on one of the charts, when Yahweh wraps up everything. Explain that to me, please.
Oh, let me pull up the chart. Let's see. Which chart?
Eschatology is the beginning and cosmogony is the end.
You're talking about the 40 plate?
Yeah, I guess wherever the cosmogony is showing. I know it means the end of all things.
It means the beginning and end. It means the beginning and end. At the other chart, with Shelley, like what a key looked like, the key, it tells you right there. That's the 7 days of the creation, the beginning and the end.
Right. Now, okay, that's the vision. But what I'm saying literally, cosmogony referred to in that manner of saying when Yahweh wraps up this creation. I know our creation should have already been wrapped up. It should have already been ended. And then the beginning, because we know that we're Yahweh. I'm talking about literally.
Yeah, cosmogony, the start, the eschatology.
Eschatology is the beginning, start.
I thought that was cosmogony.
Well, the end of everything you have to be in you, Gary.
Right.
Right. When you decide that no more am I participating in garbage, that I have received the vision and revelation of Yahweh in me, it's your end. It's not dependent on the world or another person. It's your end. Right. You're already in.
No,
you're ready to go. You're ready to go from here to eternity. Right.
Yeah, I was talking about, is there a literal sense also? Yeah, that's a repeat of 2 Peter 3:8. Honestly, that should occur when you come into a knowledge and revelation, or vision revelation of Yahweh being in you. That's who you are. Maybe that's 2 Peter 3:8. But I'm just looking at on a literal sense. Does that apply also, or?
Yeah, there is.
I'm sorry. Sorry, John.
Yes, absolutely. There is a consumption of this physical creation.
That's what I want to know.
Yes. Like there's even a plate for it right here.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
And look at the top. 2 Peter 3:10 through 18.
Right.
Yeah.
Renovation. I've never seen that word, renovation. Okay.
Got the different Isaiah 34, or no, Isaiah 3:44, Revelation 20 and 11, Matthew 24. Is that Matthew 24:35?
Yeah. I got magnifying glass.
Hebrews 1:10 and 12. Hey, that's why I find everybody in class has got the charts up personal. And all the years I've had to go like this and zoom in
and get the man.
Okay.
But also, they have it in the books too. All you got to do is because they've
still
got
small.
yeah, I
It's
know,
still
and you have
small.
to anyway.
Okay. Thanks, Rita. Thanks, Jonathan.
You remember the water that I had from New Orleans? The thing is that you have to take the physical out of your mind.
Right.
If you're standing in the Sabbath, it's over with.
Right.
You're in the sabbatical age. It's completely over with. You watching it played out on the screen. It's over with.
Right. That's that's where I'm already at. I'm already in my rest. I just wanted to understand that part of the chart. No, I don't care about the physical part. That ain't got nothing to do with that. In that sense, I don't follow the physical. My physical already ended spiritually. I already been sacrificed. Already been thrown in that altar of sacrifice. Already rose up out of that. Yeah, so I'm already aware of that. But I was just kind of curious. You know, like little kids ask a lot of questions. I keep trying to tell you I'm the baby. I got a lot of questions. But don't mean that I don't understand. I just got questions. I want to get it right.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. This creation will be consumed. I mean, I'm saying consumed instead of destroyed.
Right.
Because consumed is with the purpose. It's not as though the next creation after this is going to look like something out of a sci-fi model. Here's an example of it right here.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason why, Glenn could say things like, in the next creation, they'll be reading about what you guys did here on this side, and whatnot. It's the physical creation was made perfect. Everything about it was made perfect. The transgression which walks through it, or it's done upon it, that was not planned for it. That's not a part of it. So Yahweh can destroy this and bring back the exact same creation, just with no transgression upon it. And it's pure. It's the same thing. Like, how people imagine, like, I don't know, rainbow skies. It's all this different sci-fi kind of ideas, and it's like, Yahweh already made it perfect.
Right. That's true.
But it's not going to be like a cleaning up of the same thing. That's a point. It's like Yahweh would have to purge all the poisons and all that. The founder went over this before. He had to purge all the poison. He goes, people don't realize the soil's poison, the water's poison, the air's poison. It's all poison, and you ain't
that's true.
taking the poison out of it.
Right.
He goes, notice every time the devil come along, he talk about cleaning the air, cleaning the water, and all this. Yahweh said he's going to destroy it. That's how he's cleaning it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's going to be consumed, and there is a new state or another iteration with another set of weeks upon it that'll come forward. You being in it, you being a part of it, is you in this time now, in this creation, coming to know that you are Yahweh. Because it's Yahweh who is manifest in the flesh, is every single one.
Right.
Every single one in this picture is Yahweh himself manifested in the flesh.
Yep.
Every single one in these pictures is Yahweh himself manifested in the flesh.
Right.
And so if you come to know that you are Yahweh manifest in the flesh, when this flesh perishes, you still gonna be wherever you choose to be.
Right. Yep. I got it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Shelley was on her way home, and she said that she's sorry. She was trying to make it so she could chime in. So anyway. Oh.
And sometime in life, things will take us out, so stuff we still have to do what we got to do. But it doesn't stop the fact that, and I'm glad that we miss one another when one of us can't be there, and Yahweh already knows that. But yeah, Rita, if you were gone, I'd miss you. If any one of you are gone, I miss you. But sometime in life, you have to do stuff. You got to do it. It may take us away from that fellowship at the moment. It don't mean the fellowship is broken, because we really have the freedom to call each other all through the week if we want to. So, and there's a post recording. Jonathan, you're recording this, right?
Yeah, they're all recorded.
Yeah, so, I'm glad there are options. But yeah, I don't care if any one of you guys were gone. If something come up in life, you just got, things happen. But speaking for me, I would miss every one of you. And I'm glad that's the feeling that I have for part of the body. It's like if you wound kick your toe and it starts swelling up, you miss it when it was operating without the pain. So now you got to wait. That sort of analogy. So yeah, that's part of the body that's not present at the moment, but it's still present. So no apologies.
Yeah, this chart also goes to it.
Oh yeah.
On the elementary. Right here, 7-7 seal open, the second coming, which we know is Yahshua the Messiah on the cross. This is the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. Heaven and earth pass away.
Now,
The earth and water are already in the fire. The Spirit's been poured out, so everything is in the lake of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And as Dr. Vine said, once you know who you are, it's already done with you. This is where you at right here. And you just sitting back watching the show.
Right. Okay.
Just like
that's always comforting.
You were just like you were just sitting back watching the show.
Yeah, that's always been a comfort to me. I think I'll explain that a few weeks ago. But yeah, so it's comparative exegetical analysis, which gives me that comfort that Yahweh's always in control, and He don't make mistakes. I'm just paraphrasing. So, what is it that we're gonna get upset about?
Yep.
Or be concerned about? Because you are Yahweh. So, yeah, that's my comfort.
These simple. It's. Dr. Vaughn said it's so simple. It's the simplicity of the gospel, because these simple things we understand and have come to know, like, give a foundation for seeing what's right. Like, nobody in the school should be able to tell anybody that Yahweh hates anything.
Right.
Like I can understand if you don't know and you're using what people think of as that feeling of hate and applying that, but Yahweh don't have that. Hate isn't a part of Yahweh at all. Like, I cannot teach you that Yahweh is love and then tells you He hates evil. No, hate doesn't come up in Him against evil. His nature is love. He don't know evil. Period. Like, He's got nothing to do with it. It has no bearing upon Him. It does not coexist with Him. If I tell you that Yahweh loves you and then tells you He hates this or that, I can't be telling you that He loves you, because love doesn't exist where hate does. They are not co-compatible. They are not compatible with each other. They can't exist in the same room as each other. It's like, you know how opposite magnets, they propel, they just will not hold on. Like, and you can try, it's stronger than magnet, you try to force it, it just will not, you can't do it.
That is like love and hate, and Yahweh is love. He doesn't have love to where he can put it aside temporarily and pick up hate. No, he's love. If I teach you that the 9 divine attributes that Yahweh chose to describe himself were, and hate's not one of them, I cannot tell you that Yahweh hates anything. I can teach you that love is violent and love is vengeful against that which is hate. It's vengeful and violent against wickedness, things that have... If you love children, if you see a man molesting a child, that man will be lucky to leave that room alive. Like, that is love. There was no hate. You didn't have to, I hate this man. None of that. You didn't have to go into a mentality or a heart of hate in order to enact vengeance or discipline upon that man. It didn't have to come from you. It was the love that was violent against that twistedness, that corruption. And that is what Yahweh is. And the person I was talking to from class, they were trying to quote me Proverbs 4:6.
I think I know where you go.
These 6 things that Yahweh hates.
Right.
And I told him, I said, with the vision and revelation, we can understand that isn't true. And it's funny because I found this to be, Yahweh was like, look at the Hebrew, and I look at the Hebrew, and it says 6. It's Shisha Yahweh. Shame or something like that, but it literally says 6 things Yahweh's enemy. So there are 6 things that Yahweh is an enemy to, or that it's an enemy to Yahweh, but it's not 6 things Yahweh hates, because Yahweh is incapable of hate. Like,
so let me read this.
Don't abide in him.
Proverbs 6. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth. Thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself. When thou art come unto the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of a fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider the ways of the wise, which having no guide. Overseer, overruler, or ruler provides her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, and teaches with his fingers. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He sow discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. The 6th thing does Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among the brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandments. So, hey, Shelley.
That's the verse. That's the verse that I corrected for the guy that I was talking to in class, because he kept trying to throw that verse to me, saying, "See, the Bible says Yahweh hates these things." And Yahweh.
Which verse is it? Proverbs.
Proverbs
6 and 4.
Yeah, Proverbs. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
help me out here, because I was born and raised Catholic, so a lot of stuff I'm still probably instilled and brainwashed with, just off of my morals and the way I hold myself, right? So are you saying that there's stuff that Yahweh is enemy to where it's not that he doesn't hate, but he's displeased with? Or, like, is there a certain way we should be carrying ourselves and holding ourselves, or not really, because Yahweh is winking at stuff that we do?
Oh, no. See, and I understand where that question would come, because that's That's where a whole bunch. The founder had to have talks with people like, I ain't encourage. Look, I can be telling you that adultery ain't sleeping with the woman. I can tell you that fornication ain't had nothing to do with sex. I can teach you that you can be married to a woman and not actually be married to her. So technically, by your idea of adultery, you be committing it the whole time you was married to the woman with the certificate. I can teach you these things, and at the same time tell you they have no part in Yahweh, because when you abide in the reality of what adultery is, and you abide in the reality of what fornication is in regard to Yahweh, and how the angels committed an adultery and fornication, yet they were not given over to sexual pleasure, so it's showing it has nothing to do with sexual pleasure, you can see that if you abide in the true, if you abstain from the true adultery, not keeping your eyes on Yahweh, and you abide staying away from the true meaning of fornication, which is messing around, if anything other than that which Yahweh has said, then you could see how if you abide in that, you ain't never going to be cheating on nobody you in a relationship with. That just will never come from you, because you keeping your eyes on Yahweh, and His nature is that which will come forth from you. Now that is what brings it into sincerity. That's why you don't have to focus on sin and don't have to focus on the law. That just shows you the reality of what Yahweh said, I will write my law on their inward parts. That's why someone don't ever got to go to church or pick up a Bible to not feel right when their spouse cheats on them, because it goes beyond just that sexual thing. It's Yahweh in you, living within you, and living in that one in His own, in the pleasure and the law which He has written within Himself, which is His makeup. Love no hate can abide in Yahweh, because He is love. He doesn't have love to where He can put it to the side to then take up some hate for that moment. He is love eternally, and He doesn't stop being what He is. So in that sense, that's why when I was talking to the brother that was trying to use that Proverbs verse saying these 6 things Yahweh hates, I said no. And Yahweh said, read the Hebrew. And like I said, the Hebrew says 6 things Yahweh enemy. But they got it translated as these 6 things Yahweh hates. It doesn't even read that in the Hebrew, but you would have to have the vision revelation to even understand what the Hebrew is saying for itself. Not that the person who wrote it in Hebrew understood it, but understanding that 6 things Yahweh's enemy. Obviously, anything that is a corrupt version of his nature is an enemy to Him. Why? The same way you can say that water is an enemy to fire, because water and fire cannot coexist together. So anything that is not of Yahweh's nature is an enemy to Him, because it cannot coexist with Him. It's warring to take His place, and it cannot take His place. He consumes it. It's consumed. You see, so it's like there's no hate in Yahweh, and it's not that do whatever you want, be a what the world considers a wicked person. No. You know what I mean, Teresa? That don't even become something you even really got to think about. You know what I mean? And Yahweh winked at men not knowing who they were. The non-winking thing comes because you now have the opportunity. The mystery has been revealed, and you can know who you are. That's why there's no more winking, because you can know. Before you could know, you can't know. So Yahweh winked at it. That's how He set it up.
Yeah, don't you want?
Yeah, I understand that.
Remember that you're dealing with the writings of a man who understood what Yahweh did or said with that right within him. That's what you're dealing with, the writings of a man that understood Yahweh. The same way you would write something down and later on somebody get a hold of that, and then it's the same type of situation. But at the same time, when you understand this doctrine or the vision and revelation that you're neither moral or immoral. You're amorality, because you have to understand what Yahweh meant by certain things. Like when people would say, oh, well, if there was a God, why did He allow all those kids or those people to be killed? Well, hell, it's just Him taking off a body. What do you mean? But that's your understanding
process
of thinking somebody got killed or somebody died or whatever. Yahweh's, if He's in all, through all, that's all, that's all you got. You have to understand it from that angle. And yet, at the same time, if you go cheating with somebody else's mate, they're going to come see you about that. Why? Because it's the same Yahweh. You know? No, it's like it, but
The one for this one you're using? This one?
Is that enmity with itself. You know what you understand that?
Yeah.
Because love and hate don't abide. You're either one or the other. You know? You're not happy and sad at the same time.
That's true.
The Yahweh's nature doesn't give any room for him to take upon hate.
Yeah, look, like we say, do you want to go to heaven? It's happiness there always, you know? And when you feel in love, that's where you want to go. You want to move through the veil, get up out of there. It's that place that preaches, you know? But,
You cutting out a little bit, Shelly.
Okay, well, I'm a mute.
I think you were about to say something, Teresa.
No, the last thing I said, I was happy and sad all the time. But I'm in that place of sadness, but having the happiness of knowing that Yahweh's in control and, you know, just trying to get out of that, you know. So when I was just making a joke when she said you can't be happy and sad at the same time. That's all.
That's true.
Yeah, but it ain't that real sadness, you know what I mean?
Right.
It ain't crippling, what they call depression. It's more that sadness that comes from love, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's that care. It's that deep care.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the things you have to
Go ahead, Bernard.
one of the things we have to remember is that when the Bible was written, the king gave orders to write the Bible, but the people that were writing the Bible didn't understand what Yahweh meant when he said certain words. So the opposite of love automatically comes to them hate. Well, Yahweh didn't hate anybody. He said, if you want to abide, I'm gonna preach to you until we come to the end, and then send you to the lake if you're not gonna behave. But he said, those that abide in him will take up their positions in the next age automatically because they know what to do. That's what he said. They will take up their position because they already know what to do. Those that don't, they have something else to do.
Okay, so I gotta. Okay. So why do people go to the lake?
You're muted, Shelley.
I said, and mind you, that generation that you're producing now is that next age.
Yep.
And they'll know. It's just like we say, oh, well, we weren't raised that way, or back in the day. Well, they'll know, you know, how they'll know exactly what to do.
Right.
Why? Because Yahweh has taught them, just like those children of Israel that were born in the wilderness. They knew exactly what to do when it came time to cross over.
Right.
And that was that new age.
And that's shown because we're not waiting for the creation to end. If you come to the truth, it has already ended, and everything you are partaking in and doing and declaring is a part of this and that new age.
Right.
Yep. But you were about to ask a question, Gary.
Oh, I was gonna say, why do people end up in the lake? I mean,
That's a term. Everybody goes to the lake.
Well, yes. Well, let me put it this way. That was the wrong question.
That's the funny part about it. People take it like a slander, like a Baptist preacher throwing it at them. Oh, you gonna go to the lake? Are you gonna burn? And
Right.
It's a funny expression because it's like, oh, you don't want to believe? You go into the lake. Well, guess what? If you believe, you
Go
in the lake.
Right. Exactly. I started to take the question back because that's what has to happen for you to divest yourself of all that satanic thoughts that you had about your Creator that you didn't know. You got to go in the lake. You got to be burned. So,
well,
yeah.
it's also like Moses was in the flood, but he was in an ark of safety.
Right.
You go to the lake, but you got an ark of safety, and that's Elohim. So you walk through that lake. You abide. The angel of Yahweh appeared to Moses in a burning bush. That burning bush typifies the lake.
Right.
Like, the angel of Yahweh is Yahshua. That Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit is like a consuming and devouring fire. Mm-hmm. The Holy Spirit is the lake. So everything abides in the lake. That's why that one portion of the elementary chart where it's got the second coming of Yahshua and Yahshua standing there, and the heaven and the earth and the water are within the lake of fire, and it says the end. That's now. The Holy Spirit poured out, being revealed. That's everything being on fire. Like, everything is in the lake on fire. That's why you can see everything's in the judgment. It's all being burnt right now. But like I said, if that understanding's already come to you, Yahweh's already revealed himself within that tabernacle, then that's already done. The lake was poured. You went into the lake. And who remained? Yahweh Elohim. Not a Gary Cooper. Yahweh Elohim remained. That's who remained. So that shows you, that in the next age, it's Yahweh Elohim, because it's always been Yahweh Elohim Yahshua,
That reminds me of Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Exactly.
They didn't get burned.
And why? What did they see? What did they see next to them? They saw Yahweh Elohim standing with them.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, why weren't they burnt? Because they had Yahweh Elohim within them. Because we know that Yahweh Elohim is not here in the world to then appear randomly in front of men. Every time Yahweh Elohim has appeared, he has projected from within the man, out of the man, and that's how he was seen. So when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are standing there in the fire, Yahweh Elohim is projecting from within them, standing there, showing who he is in that body. Like, this is me, and you ain't gonna burn me. I am the fire. Fire don't burn fire. It's like, man.
That's right.
Remember, he said like this. Glenn said it on his tape also. He said he was questioning. He said, now the 1/3 of the host was the first state. He said even those 1/3 of those stars came down. He said, now there's only 1/3 that disobeyed Yahweh going through the wilderness. He said there's only going to be 1/3 that missed the lake, that go into the lake.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that next week.
Huh?
Yeah, that was
This is a different concept. So yeah, he said 1/3 is lost. Not everybody. We looking at there's 6 of us and we don't know no more. We don't know anymore. So there's 7 of us. We don't know nobody else. I mean, we know other people, but what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that we're the only one that knows. That he said now standing in Florida, he said we're on the 4 corners. Now we're looking at 4 corners of the world, right? That's what he said. But there's others that know, but who we don't know who they are. We may know them, but they haven't stood up for us to see them.
Yeah, it wasn't that Florida. It wasn't that Florida geographically was a 4th corner, or even that place. It's because Yahweh Elohim was teaching in a classroom within Florida. That made it a 4th corner of the world. You see that 4th corner? What was the 4th? The 4th was the Messiah coming in.
So wherever the fourth corner is, that's where Yahweh's sitting there teaching those who he's teaching. Wherever, whatever state, country, whatever it's in. If Yahweh Elohim is standing there teaching in a coat of flesh to a group of people, that's the fourth corner of the world. Was there not 4 days and then the Messiah came in, the light of the world was brought in? You see, so one of the that's understanding the fourth corner of the world spiritually. So that's why Florida was a fourth corner of the world, because Glenn or Yahweh wrapped in a coat of flesh was there teaching a group of people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Next week we don't have time. Next week I'm going to talk about the war in heaven.
Oh, that's man.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk about that.
You go through it all the time.
Bernard just touched on it a little bit. So yeah.
Well, that's the only third that's lost. Is that third that fell. I was explaining to my wife, I was like, that third, Lucifer, that host, that third of the angels, that innumerable company, they rejected what you come to find hope in. Like when you didn't know Yahweh, the hope that you now have, the life you now live, the love you now bear, that is what they rejected. So what you've come to that gives you hope and brought you life, they already rejected it. That shows you that there ain't no returning for them. That's what makes them lost. They rejected the ultimate gracious gift you can have from the get-go. That's why it's like Yahweh said he will that none should perish, but that all should come to everlasting life. Or there's none lost save the son of perdition. It's like if these things were done to fulfill the thing that there's none lost but the son of perdition. It's like that means every man. Yeah, like I was telling one brother, he kept saying, "Oh, all these people are evil, and all these people out here are lost. I said, no. I said Yahweh didn't call them lost. Yahweh said they were asleep. Like, there's a difference. If you lost, that's one thing. The Messiah says he came for the lost sheep, whatnot, right? Well, now you're asleep. The mystery was revealed. So you're just asleep. Like, so when Yahweh reveals it to you, that brings you in. Nobody rejects it. That's why you have the most wicked people that people consider wicked on their deathbeds receiving a vision from Yahweh, and you always hear this, and they come out screaming, I was wrong, I was wrong, I was wrong. There's nothing a man can hold on to in this world, ideology-wise or other, that when Yahweh gives him a divine vision of who he is, that man holds on to that. I mean, he can't. The man recognizes that is greater than anything I had. Put me on the altar. I don't care. Like, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess to Yahweh's satisfaction. So it ain't a what do they call it? Empty lip confession. Yahweh said every lip is gonna confess to his satisfaction, which means with earnesty, everyone is going to admit, thou art all in all. And so that's Yahweh giving every man the vision and revelation of who he is, which burns out the old man, destroys that old creation, and a new creation is brought forth, the new man, the true man, the you man.
I think when you look at with the what's going on in the negative commentations and videos and stuff you see opposing the founder, that's murder. For anybody that accepts that's murder.
Yep.
You're not talking about you killing another man. You're not supposed to kill another man because you didn't bring one in. But the thing is this, Yahweh is interested in those that will what Lucifer did, turn his angels away from Yahweh. And that's what he did. That was murder. That was murder that he did. Now, in the earth realm, we think killing another man is a plot to kill another man is murder. That's the same thing that Lucifer did, plotted to turn the angels away from Yahweh. That was murder. There was no salvation in that. Yeah.
So that was part of the descent that caused 1/3 of the innumerable host to be separate from Yahweh.
They all had the same thought.
all the angels were told, you are Yahweh. All the angels had the thought, if I'm Yahweh, why do I have to worship you? 2/3 of the angels recognized, because I came forth from you.
Right.
I came forth. You're telling me who I am. I came forth from you. So that's why my worship goes to you. 1/3 of the angels said within themselves, yeah, why do I have to worship you? And they went about them taking hold of that corrupted their nature of who they were, their Yahweh, that corrupted nature. Lucifer, the adversary, Hillel, he, just like Michael and Gabriel, are what is it called? They're chiefs or commanders. What's it called? There's a name for it, and it's used in the scripture. They have a battalion or what's it called? They have a host of angels that they're in charge of, type of thing. Michael and Gabriel were in charge. They have there's a term for it in the scripture, and it's not coming to me. So I'm not going to say they're archangels. Yes, they're archangels, which have they're chiefs, or there's a term in the scripture and I can't recall it, and I want to say it's when Joshua encounters Michael, and it's one of the times where Michael is referred to as being the warrior angel, and he has a command of angels beneath him. The adversary, and it's not because they're any greater than any other angel. Every angel looks exactly the same as Elohim, has the same power as Elohim, is Elohim, just in a specific duty and function. Like Dr. Farr was saying, Moses had a duty. Elijah had a duty. Dr. Kinley had a duty. Emmanuel had a duty. Yahweh came in that position to perform a duty.
Right.
And that's the same with the other angels. The duty that angel, the adversary, the one that became the adversary, or known as the chief adversary, his duty was to be an example to all the other angels on keeping your eyes on Yahweh. So his literal job is to be an example to all the other angels to keep your eyes on Yahweh. That was his duty. So when he took upon the mind, why do I have to worship you? Because he's told he's Yahweh. He looked at himself. He sees Yahweh, and what's he do? He keeps his eye on Yahweh. But not in the sense of giving glory back, but in himself. Now, if you can see that shown with man coming into the knowledge that you are Yahweh, if you see the problem that a lot of people in classes have, how can I be Yahweh? Right? I'm this, I'm that. They'll be like, I see Yahweh, right? I see that I'm the source and substance of Yahweh, but how could I be Yahweh? Well, that's even like a corrupt twist of what the adversary did, which is he saw Yahweh and he wanted to be like Yahweh and be above Yahweh. He wanted to be the one declaring the purpose. He wanted to be the one decreeing when things should come to pass. It's like that's even shown with sacrifices given before time, trying to get Yahweh to do things before the appointed time. Turn these stones into bread. Make these stones alive. When Yahweh said he had an appointed time where he was going to reveal the mystery unto them. Making them turn to bread would be revealing the mystery to them. The apostle said, why do you speak to them in parables? Because it's not the time. It's not the time. There's an appointed time for these things. Everybody's like, why didn't Yahweh do this? Why didn't Yahweh do this? He could have done this. He could have done that. He has an appointed time that he sticks to. And he's not going to be rushed and be pushed out of what he has set to happen. And that's what the adversary wanted. He wanted to be the one declaring when things would come to pass and what would happen and what this, and he wants the glory. And you see that through all the occultic and all the twisted versions of the truth. It's all trying to give him, in some other title, all the glory that belongs to Yahweh, and him trying to declare that which is against when Yahweh has said it is.
And that's the truth. Now, if you would give us a benediction, that was the whole summation of it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Go, Jonathan.
Live on the
Now unto him.
benediction.
Yes. Now unto him.
Now unto him who is able to keep you from falling, belong glory and majesty, dominion, power, both now and forever. Let's all say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Love you all.
Yep.
Love you.
Love you guys
Yeah.
too.